Welcome to the Real Estate 401k Show. Here are your hosts, Ryan Gerdes, Mike Weinstein, and Justin Frederick, helping you build a legacy of wealth through real estate. Powered by the Real Estate 401k Group at West USA and the Frederick team with Fairway Mortgage and MLS number 625918.
Welcome back to the Real Estate 401k Show. I am your host, Ryan Gerdes. We have Justin Frederick with Fairway Mortgage, and we have our resident guest here, Mr. Lee Bradley, who's also your contractor extraordinaire. As we continue to try to help everyone build wealth in real estate, we always say one of the best things that you can do is, if you love to travel, buy real estate where you like to travel. Because, I mean, with what's out there right now, but with Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com, all these different platforms, it's real easy for you to generate income off of a property that you just want to go and spend 2, maybe 3 weeks out of the year at, and then at the same time make some decent money at it. And some of these are big money. So there's obviously all kinds of fun and creative and new things that are happening all the time in that genre. But the hard part for people, for a lot of people to wrap their head around is how to get these things financed and how do those numbers work. And so, Justin, what are you seeing over here in the lending world that's changing with second homes, or i.e. vacation properties?
Yeah, so one of our biggest battles right now has been just what interest rates are on second homes. So traditionally, we require 10% down for a second home. And lately, we've been seeing interest rates in the mid-8s with
Yikes.
3 points area, 2.5, 3 point area for that purchase with the 10% down. So, we're recommending to people, prior to us coming out with some new products, we were recommending to people 25% down. You can get yourself a little bit better
Leverage
rate.
as little as possible.
Yeah, you can get
at
into like
8.5.
the high 7s, with no points. But Fairway's come out with some really cool products on second homes. If you come in with 20% down, you're pretty much getting close to hitting primary interest rates on those. Very little closing costs as far as buying points, and those interest rates have gotten they're about 3 points better than anybody out there that we've found. And we've shopped it, because when that came out, I was like, really, how good is this? So let's go around to all the websites, that come up with some crazy numbers, and we're beating them all. So been pretty happy about these types of products. Now, that's if you're looking to do a traditional purchase, but there's a lot of second homes that are, let's just talk about like Payson, Munns Park, Flagstaff, that were built in the 70s. And people don't know we have renovation loans for these, where you can go in and rip out that multicolored carpet.
And you don't need a primary for that?
What do you mean?
You don't need to be a primary for that?
No, you can do it for an investment property as
Cool.
well. Yeah. We've had people purchasing homes up in Munns, Payson, and just completely redoing the place for their second home. And, obviously they're
Sure.
looking to Airbnb that shortly after.
Well, it's exciting to see things trend back to where it used to be. Because, it used to be you could second would be just like a primary.
Yeah,
And then
interest
you guys
rates were
got rid of all
fantastic.
that pricing, all those different, rules and regs on it. And so it feels like we're kind of inching back towards that.
We had to come. So that was Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. Those are our traditional products, right? So we've had to divert to private money in order to find somebody willing to invest in those types of properties and give us good pricing on those, because it was literally scaring people away. I want to get a second home. I have the funds to do it. Well, if you want to get a $500,000 loan, you're going to pay $15,000 in points along with standard closing costs at 10% down. So we had to figure out a way to get around that, because that money's just out the door as soon as you close.
Well, I'm loving that. We'd love to have a conversation with you. If you would love to have a conversation with us about that, go ahead and text the word vacation to 623-AZ-RECON. So most people, they'll pick up a second home, and then they may have renovations to do, but if we are going to occupy it or even just use it as an investment for the majority of the time, we have to outfit it. We have to, and especially if you're doing Airbnb or VRBO, you kind of have to go over the top with a lot of these things. If you're doing the regular old cookie cutter stuff, there's hundreds of those out there. That market's completely saturated. Now, I'm not saying that it can't still make you money, but you need someone to go in there and not only come up with the design and the plan, but actually execute as well. Lee, talk about what you're seeing out there with that.
So everyone wants a good deal, of course. So they'll buy low and then just get a little extra bread to upgrade the home. The money is once again bathrooms and showers. Bathrooms
Agreed.
and showers. Everybody's carpet is kind of a thing of the past. Everybody's just doing the wood-looking tile floor and just keeping it simple. So in those Airbnbs, people can spill as much as they want to and just wipe it right up. Between that and the microfiber furniture, you're pretty good to go. But just making the place look really nice, man. You put you some bread away and just, like I said, get rid of that carpet. Get rid of that carpet, tile it out. Now, one of the new crazes is the Airbnbs, the walls are just flat white. They're not even doing a color anymore. They're just flat white. I mean, it looks amazing. Some of them maybe
It's clean.
It's very clean.
Easy to paint again.
Easy to paint
Roll
again.
right over it.
Just flat white. It's just really crisp and clean. I've seen some older homes that have done that and just done just the white walls. I mean, it's kind of stale. It's a thing of the past because before, when you and I were growing up, it was only one color. There was no accent wall. You know what I mean? So just nice, crisp and clean, save you some money and get that bathroom and the kitchen looking right, and you're golden. That's what people want to. And then that's where people get the good reviews.
I feel like outside living too is a big deal with second homes. Especially up in those cabin areas, decks and.
I feel like it's everywhere.
Yeah, even
I mean,
right now is out.
People, the market's hot here in the greater Phoenix area during the winter. They don't come here so they can stay cooped up in the house all
Not
day,
at all.
right? And if they're wanting to go skiing up in the mountains, they don't want to stay cooped up in the house all day. They want to have something that's going to offer them some outside luxuries, right?
Correct.
So, I want to know a little bit more about that renovation loan, how that how you guys play with contractors, and how you're working with the homeowner and the borrower, and how does all that pan out?
So basically, before we even get looking, we want to know if you have a contractor that you trust, so that we can start vetting them, because we gotta check out their licenses and their bonds and make sure everything's good there. As long as everything's good there, we want to come up with a budget for renovations. Obviously, knowing that we haven't even seen a home yet, but we want to set a budget so that we can. With the contractor, they can determine, this is a house we should go after or not, just by having eyes on it. Just because basically when we're trying to get under contract, for at least 45 days. And the reason why we want the 45 days is because we're going to have a contractor put together a full bid for us, itemized bid, so that we can turn it into the bank and to the appraiser. The appraiser is going to appraise the home based on the bid that we have and the structural changes or the changes of the property, to make sure that value's there. There is room for shortfalls in values within conventional financing on those types of products. So let's say that the purchase price is $400,000 and you want to put another $100,000 into work into the property. Well, so that's $500,000. Well, let's say that the value comes in at $490,000. We're still going to be able to do that loan and get you the $500,000 with your down payment being based on $500,000. So if we're doing a second home, we can go off of a minimum of 10%. I wouldn't suggest it, but you can. Primary residence, you can go 5% down. Investment property, you can go at 20% down.
Well, there's a lot that goes into it, and we'd love to have a conversation with you about it. Go ahead and text the word vacation to 623-AZ-RECON. That's vacation to 623-AZ-RECON. So this all sounds good and dandy, right? I want to go buy a second home. You guys are going to help me with the lending on, I have to come up with my 10% down payment or 20, depending on what I can afford. And then, I need some work done on it. I hire Lee over here. And the numbers come back. We're going to do $100,000 worth of renovations on it. and then it all gets approved.
What happens from there?
What happens if the house floods, or what happens if what are some of the things?
Well, I mean, you got
the
insurance on the property.
The things that happen. Okay, so how does that all play in? Is it just as simple as filing a claim, or is it something that you guys work with the insurance, or is that?
That's a good question. So I don't know that answer
there?
for sure, but I would assume that it would have to be through the insurance. And I haven't had that problem yet, so hopefully I never have that problem. Knock on wood.
Okay.
But from there, once we close the loan, basically we're going to give the first draw, and we can give that first draw up to 50% for materials to get everything ordered for the construction of the property, and then from there we can do up to 3 more draws for the work and the labor costs throughout the process, and basically. Once all the work's done, the bank's going to send out inspectors. We're going to have a final appraisal done on the property to make sure everything was done correctly and accurately.
And according to plan.
And we're done. You get 6 months for the builds in some cases, depending on how much work there is. In some cases, you get 90 days for the construction. So they give you a good amount of time. And keep in mind, if you're doing these, you can, with a conventional loan, you can rip down the entire place except for one wall. You can keep
like 6 feet of it or something like that.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
There's a guideline there, and you can redo the whole place. So we've seen. Now we got to keep it below conventional limits at 766, 550, but we've seen people do this with homes that have been burnt from fire. And they've just completely redone the place. So
there's so much interesting stuff out there, and it's I'm glad to see it evolving even more, because it seems like there's so many unanswered questions and so many just kind of different things that can be thrown at you, and it seems like there's a lot of different fail safes that just weren't there. So it's nice to see that there's some good movement there. But we would love to have a conversation with you about it. Go ahead and text the word vacation to 623-AZ-RECON. Again, that's vacation to 623-AZ-RECON.
Thank you for joining us on the Real Estate 401k Show. If you want more information on how to build wealth, click on the link or text us at 623-297-3266. That's 623-AZ-RECON.